time ago, we had a historic phone call in the Oval Office with Prime Minister Tani, who's really a great person. So we had a great talk, and I was on the phone, and Bibi was talking. Prime Minister Al Thani was of Qatar. They really had a heart-to-heart conversation. It was a great conversation, I thought.
Great, wonderful. Okay, Netanyahu showed up after. Oh, did you guys? Sorry, I'm a little all over the place today because the country is dying. Did you guys see that Israel and Netanyahu personally hosted some American content creators to try to pay them off to be more pro-Israel? When you're losing the propaganda game, but you have lots of money, you guys didn't see that? Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu briefing with U.S. content creators. You didn't see this?
Yesterday, I got the honor of meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu as part of a special focus group for Christian conservative Gen Zers, and we were essentially addressing the concerns that we had, right? There's clearly been a growing divide. He wanted to know why. He wanted to know what Israel could be doing better. He wanted to understand where we were coming from, and to his credit, he did listen to us extremely attentively and took in a lot of what we were saying. And from our end, while of course we were polite and we were there also trying to form more unity, we were asking him the hard questions that a lot of people from our generation have been raising concerns about. For example, and the same way he listened to us and took in our criticisms, I'm truly hoping that you guys will listen to the answer. AIPAC.
She's talking about a prime minister of a country committing a genocide. I don't know. It's a little bit funny, I suppose. She changed her channel handle from That Zionist Girl to That Opinion. This is That Zionist Girl? That's her? That's crazy. Is this from that bit?
Christian influencers. Okay. You said, we talked about the woke right. And you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done.
I appreciate him just like explicitly saying it's a PR project and not trying to make a direct appeal to people's positions. He's doing this openly. It's fucking crazy what we let Israel get away with, man. Just openly meeting with American content creators to be like, listen, it would be in everyone's best interest if you supported us, you know? He's genuinely bad at his job. I mean, a little bit of secrecy would be polite, at least.
With money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay, and you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is followers. TikTok. TikTok, number one.
It was super cool of the Biden administration to like legally orchestrate all of the precursors that have led now to the American version of TikTok definitely getting bought out by, what is it, Oracle? Like some more deep state, far-right Zionist pieces of shit. So they can like selectively moderate, make it illegal, and delist you in the algorithm if you're pro-Palestinian. Super, super cool. Anyway, what were we talking about? We're ending the war in Gaza? That's great. Trump announces agreement with Israel to end war in Gaza. I'm sure. So what is it this time? I've heard this like 50 times before. What is it this time? You see Kushner bought EA with the Saudis? I did see that, yeah. Goodbye, EA. Full peace plan? From Rapid Response 47. Gaza will be a de-radicalized, terror-free zone that does not pose a threat to its neighbors. Gaza will be redeveloped for the benefit of the people in Gaza who have suffered more than enough. If both sides agree to this proposal, the war will immediately end. But agree to what? This means literally nothing. This means literally nothing. These are not actual provisions. Jesus Christ, words. This means nothing. See if I can find anything, like a video summary. Something that means less nothing.
But if accepted by Hamas, this proposal calls for the release of all remaining hostages immediately, but in no case more than 72 hours. So the hostages are
Tony
coming
Blair wants to be a colonial governor. Great.
back, and I hate even saying this from the standpoint, doesn't sound right, but it is so important to the parents. The bodies of the young men, I believe in almost all cases, the young men are coming back immediately. I met with parents. The parents felt as strongly about getting the body of their dead boy back as they did as though the boy were alive and well. Mm-hmm. It's so important to them. And it means the immediate end to the war itself, not just Gaza. It's the war itself. Under the plan, Arab and Muslim countries have committed, and in writing in many cases, but I actually would take their word for it. The people I mentioned, I'd take their word for it, to demilitarize Gaza, and that's quickly. Decommission the military capabilities of Hamas and all other terror organizations. Do that immediately. And we're relying on the countries that I named and others to deal with Hamas. And I'm hearing that Hamas wants to get this done too.
This means literally nothing. This is absolutely nothing. This is just yet another fucking PR trip from Netanyahu in a desperate effort to continue to hold Trump's attention. That's it. That's why this is being, rather than being like pitched back and forth as like a deal that's getting negotiated, they're just upfront saying this. Like normally if you have some kind of deal you want to negotiate, this gets bounced back and forth for a while. You try to reach some kind of point. You don't make the press conference until after you think there's some chance of it actually being accepted. What are you going to try to do? Publicly pressure Hamas? Like they're susceptible to that sort of thing? No. This is just another PR stunt. It means absolutely nothing. If they cleanse Gaza, they cleanse Gaza. This has nothing to do with this. This is just words. It's yap. It's yap. They're just gonna inevitably blame Hamas when this falls through. Yeah, well, they've done that like 50 times already. It's fucking boring. Just trying to keep Trump's attention. You see this shit? Cornell University is canceling a distinguished professor's classes on Gaza because of the complaints of a student who previously served in Israel's military surveillance agency and was literally recording the comments of other students in class and deliberately derailing discussion. Fucking Israel, man. Early last semester, Druby said, students began approaching Chaffetz with complaints that a graduate student in the Gaza indigeneity resistance class appeared to be recording them, possibly to, quote, gather their names and comments and intimidate them. We believe that a student came to the course for the sole purpose of surveilling and potentially harming students in the class, Druby said. That ended up proving itself to be true because the multiple students came forward and shared their concerns with Professor Chaffetz. Chaffetz had one Palestinian student quit the class after telling him she felt upset and frightened. According to Chaffetz, the graduate student often steered convos away from the assigned readings, which at that point mostly focused on definitions of genocide and international law on indigenous rights, to defend Israel's conduct in the war in Gaza and argue with others in class. He had clearly not done the readings, Chaffetz said. It was disruptive. Chaffetz said he met with the graduate student late January and spoke to him about concerns from his classmates. During the conversation, he asked the graduate student to drop the course, and by the next class, he did, Chaffetz said. The graduate student, Oren Renard, a PhD candidate in computer science whose identity was confirmed by other students in the class, previously served in Israel's elite military surveillance agency, Unit 8200, according to his LinkedIn profile, and Cornell canceled this class afterwards. They have infinite power, man. It's fucking crazy. I can't, like, my country of 330 million has bent the knee and deferred entirely to, like, an externalized, nationalized military-industrial complex that has taken the form of Rhodesia, but somehow worse. It's insane. Northwestern rejected 300 students that refused to take, quote, anti-Semitism training. Wonderful. banning over 300 students for refusing to watch an extremist indoctrination video that demonizes anti-Zionists, including Jews, as Nazis and Klansmen. Cool, cool, cool. What's anti-Semitism training? It means that Northwestern has ties to Israel, and Israel is putting pressure on them to show unhinged Zionist screeds to students as a prerequisite for joining the university. Everyone must bow, and nobody's doing anything about this. Who do you think would do something about it? The federal government? Who exactly? At one point, the narrator compares critics of Israel to former Ku Klux Klan Grand Wizard David Duke. Neat. Josh Shapiro moment? Yeah. Oh yeah, also, can somebody explain to me why exactly Tony Blair is meant to be the colonial governor of Gaza? How did he worm his way into this? Fucking hate Tony. Like, how did he even get in this position? Apparently he just really cares, because he asked. A plan for a post-war Gaza governing authority, potentially headed by Tony Blair, would sideline key Palestinian political figures while giving significant authority to its chair on most key issues, according to a leaked confidential proposal. Well, back to being British land, I suppose. George W. Bush would be almost better. Oh, 100%, because George W. Bush is now haunted by the ghosts of hundreds of thousands of Iraqi children. They would keep him straight. Tony Blair is still a smug, self-assured neoliberal asshole. Bush Jr. is a he's a reliquary of a man, okay? He's every moment, you know, you can see it. You know, Bush framed that shoe that was thrown at him. Did he actually? I didn't know that. That's nice.